can be made tonight as Grayson County will search for their 200th varsity football victory in a district game against Muhlenberg County. As well, they will look for a 3-0 start for 3 straight years for the first time in program history. Lots of things can happen tonight historically, but right now the only thing on Grayson County's mind is the Mustangs of Muhlenberg County entering with a game of 0-2. Grayson County 2-0. And a good evening and welcome to Grayson County High School and Cougar Stadium on a football weather kind of night. The rain has moved out here in Litchfield, as really for the majority of the time that we set up, it wasn't necessarily raining hard, but it was a nice light rain, just enough to, make yourself wet, but not enough to really make any maybe real difference on this game. But I do know that Muhlenberg County, when they were warming up today, were complaining that it is wet a little bit and the football was getting wet out there. So obviously that means you could see some turnovers here early on. Coming up, though, on our locker room show, we'll talk to the head coach of the Grayson County Cougars, Brian Jones. We'll introduce you to both teams and have tonight's keys to the game. That comes up and more right here on the locker room show on K105.
Living in your ideal home, or is it still a dream? Future Designs Building Materials can help you turn your dreams into reality with atrium windows that will make the sun look brighter, roofing material that will keep your home protected year-round, and decking material for that perfect barbecue setting. Now is the perfect time to get your home improvement project off the ground. Got questions? Future Designs Building Materials can help with all your lumber and home improvement questions. Visit Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield or fdbm.net.
When I was a kid, my dad would hold a nickel in one hand and a dime in the other and ask, which one is bigger? Of course, the nickel was bigger, but the dime was worth more. Think about that. With all the bank mergers going on, does bigger make them better? I don't think so. Wilson & Muir Bank is a locally owned community bank based right here in Kentucky. I like dealing with people I know personally, the same people I've trusted with my money for years. That's why it's my bank. Wilson & Muir Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, your feel better starts here at Midway Pharmacy.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The tonight's best mix, K105.
The Muhlenberg County Mustangs enter this game with a record of 0-2. They had 2 home losses to McLean County and to Ohio County to start the season, and in those 2 games, the defense gave up 77 points. Ironically enough, last season, the first 2 games from Muhlenberg County, the defense gave up 77 points. A little bit of a trend seeing into the first 2 games of the season here, the past 2 seasons. Josh Staples, the head coach, 4-9 at Muhlenberg County High School, but he is 9-15 as a head coach. He's in his 3rd overall season. He was the final head coach for Muhlenberg South High School. Last season, the Mustangs were 4-7, lost to Owensboro in the first round of the KHSAA playoffs. And Muhlenberg County had multiple players out last week due to from what we have heard, and I have not had necessary confirmation on this, a suspension. And I had an unconfirmed report that said that might be in impact again today. We're not 100% sure on that, but it'll be something that we will keep an eye on. Quarterback, starting at the beginning of the season, week 1, Trevor Nolan. He was the starting quarterback, did not play last week. He passed for 93 yards and a touchdown. Zach Harden filled in at quarterback. He was 1 of 6 passing for 13 yards. Team is going to use really 3 primary running backs out of the backfield. As your main running back is Eli Hawkins. He had 17 carries for 101 yards, averaging 5.9 yards per carry. And Caden Revelet is a slot receiver / running back. He had the most carries with 20 and 101 yards. He also has the only rushing touchdown on the year for Muhlenberg County. Jamie Bullock is a fullback, has 17 carries for 74 yards as well on the season. You're going to see an offense that if they're completely out there, you're going to see a spread attack of sorts. You're going to see the ball fly through the air a little bit, but with the ball being a little wet, you might not necessarily see that of sorts. As Revelet is one of the main receivers. He has 5 catches for 57 yards. John Putnam has 3 catches for 30 yards. Donovan McCoy is a catch as a tight end. Braden Lovin also has 2 catches against McLean County week 1 but did not play last week. Defensively, it's been a struggle early on for Muhlenberg County. They're giving up 38.5 points per game, including 45 last week against Ohio County. Pass defense giving up 193 total yards through the air. Rush defense 305 yards per game on the ground, giving up. Jackson Karuba, leading tackler, 31 total tackles. Jamie Bullock and Caden Revelet have both forced turnovers, 7 total tackles for loss. The other names you need to know on the defense, Zach Harden, Bullock, Revelet, and Eli Hawkins. That's really your look there at the 0-2 Muhlenberg County Mustangs. We'll take a break down the Grayson County Cougars, as this is Cougar football right here on K105.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
Anytime they're playing music downstairs, it's loud. I go downstairs, see what they're doing, see what music they're doing, see what they're dancing to. I go play piano downstairs, they come get involved. Leah has a drum set beside it, banging that. Any music, that's what they do.
Spending time outdoors has never felt more valuable. Whether it's exploring nature or relaxing in your yard, let's do it responsibly. Before going out, check for closures and fire restrictions. Practice social distancing, even when outside and on the trail. Back at home, if burning yard debris, keep your pile small. And no matter where you are, be sure to properly extinguish any outdoor fire. Drown, stir, drown, feel. We're all in this together. Help keep our safe places safe.
What's the FAFSA?
I have no idea what FAFSA stands for.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of people at school talk about it, but I haven't actually had like a conversation about it.
When I'm preparing for college, my top priorities are how to pay for it.
They're really focused on getting you to the college level. They're not really focused on getting you through college, so they don't really talk about the financial aid or FAFSA.
The free application for federal student aid is the first step, and it just got easier. Visit knowhowtogoky.org to find out more.
I don't think that many kids in my...
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School. Cougars and Mustangs. Moments away from getting started. As on the clock, it's about 20 minutes until the official start time of tonight's game. Grayson County enters with a record of 2-0. Of course, brand new head coach Brian Jones. He is 2-0 here at Grayson County, 14-50 overall. Grayson County 2-0. Third straight year following the wins over Thomas Nelson Breck County. Brian Jones becomes the first Cougar head coach to start his career 2-0 since Bill Embry in 1981. Cougars, though, have lost 3 straight Thursday night football games, but all of those came against Bowling Green, so you can kind of read into that how you want to. Grayson County looks to, again, move to 3-0 for the third straight year for the first time in program history. Kaylor Decker is your starting quarterback on the year, 8 of 13 for 96 yards and a touchdown. Hunter Felty, Caden Woodcock both attempted passes on the season as well. Felty, completion. Woodcock just overthrew a streaking. It was Owen Bratcher last week, just off of his fingertips on the first play of the game against Breckenridge County. Caden Woodcock, main running back, 354 rushing yards on 65 attempts and 4 touchdowns. He had 3 rushing touchdowns in the win over Breck County last week. Mason Miller, fullback, 9 carries, 34 yards. Kaylor Decker, he has 6 carries for 29 yards in the season, but ripped a 31-yard run for a touchdown last week. Your wide receivers, Hunter Toms, Mason Miller out of the backfield, Michael Wood, and Owen Bratcher are your 3 on the outside, but you also see Miller and Woodcock come into the backfield and get into the flat and try and get out into space and see what they might be able to do with that. Team tonight, maybe going to have to use some more 2-point conversions. They're without kicker Jackson Kane. He's not playing because if we look over to the other side of campus, and I'm not sure if you're watching with us on K105 Digital Productions, you might be able to see something along the lines of that. There is a soccer game. It looks like the Lady Cougars are still playing right now against Butler County. But on the other side of campus, there is a soccer game going on, and Grayson County's kicker is the goalie for the soccer team. So he will not play tonight. And the only thing, best case scenario, Brian Jones was telling me pregame, is that they might get him for the second half. But if we look and see that the Lady Cougars appear to still be going underway, I wouldn't get your hopes up for getting Jackson Kane here tonight. Defensively, only 6 points allowed for Grayson County this season. It was on a short field after a turnover as well. Pass defense, 43.5 yards per game. Rushing defense, the stat that really stands out for this is allowing only 2.2 yards per carry. Again, just over 2 yards a carry. Last week against Breck County, they allowed 1 yard per carry. 27 carries for 27 yards. Really impressive showing for that defense last week. Team has 8 total tackles for a loss. Mason Miller, Levi Martin, Ben Rogers, Lane Pullman, and Zach Bratcher. Again, Bratcher's the guy that you need to know on this defense as he leads the team with 18 tackles and 2 tackles for a loss. Team has forced opposing teams to 6 turnovers on downs. 4 came against Breck County last week. Take a break. Come back here and talk to the head coach of the Grayson County Cougars, Brian Jones, get his thoughts on tonight's matchup, as this is Cougar football right here on K105.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
When I was a kid, my dad would hold a nickel in one hand and a dime in the other and ask, which one is bigger? Of course, the nickel was bigger, but the dime was worth more. Think about that. With all the bank mergers going on, does bigger make them better? I don't think so. Wilson & Muir Bank is a locally owned community bank based right here in Kentucky. I like dealing with people I know personally, the same people I've trusted with my money for years. That's why it's my bank. Wilson & Muir Bank.
The Twin Lakes Basketball K105.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Show here on K105. Sam Gormley now joined by the head coach of the Grayson County Cougars, Brian Jones. And Coach, going back, watching film from last Friday against Breckenridge County, what'd you see?
I think, second week in a row, we did pretty good up front. Kids did an outstanding job kind of controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and really allowed our linebackers defensively to kind of play free and make some plays, and then offensively, continued a pretty good rushing attack, had good pass protection, gave Kaler some time, and that's something we want to be kind of known for is good line play, and I think 2 weeks in a row we've done a pretty good job at that, and so that kind of jumped out at me, and I think other than the one drive we kind of extended for them, it was a pretty complete game. We didn't really turn the ball over, and that we struggled with week one. Finished drives, so all the way around it was a pretty good game.
Before the game last week, we talked about how you limited penalties against Thomas Nelson, but you had the one drive last week that you had, I think, 3 or 4 penalties on the drive that extended Breck. They ended up not scoring, but was that a one-time thing, or is that something that you really focused in on practice this week?
No, we focused on being disciplined. So we spent a lot of time and effort this week on, going on extended snap counts and not jumping off sides, and just little things. Coaches really tried to hone in on making sure kids weren't holding and just stuff that we can control. And those penalties in that drive were things that we could kind of control. We highlighted it in a little bit of film session, and so I tried to make it a focus this week. I don't look for that to be a problem that we deal with. I think emotions got to us in that game, kind of a rivalry game. I think there was a little pregame smack talk, and that kind of stuff that goes on with neighboring schools. And so I think, like I said, I think emotions got to us in that one, and it's early in the season. Sometimes that happens. And also dealing with some guys that don't have a lot of playing experience, and so they don't know how to handle those in-game emotions sometimes. And so I don't look for that to be a continued thing. I think the kids really understood immediately following, that just a bonehead move and something that we'll continue to improve on as we gain experience and those kind of things. So I hopefully we'll clean that up this week. And 2 weeks in a row we've been really close to a really super complete game. Last week it was penalties, first week it was the fumbles, and so hopefully come out this week and show that complete performance.
Last week, 11 passes and just under 40 rushes. Is that the balance you're looking for on offense?
Yeah, we'll probably be somewhere around in there in most games. We're going to establish the run. That is something that we're going to hang our hat on, and we're going to go every week and when we game plan and find ways that we can run the ball. And then we want the pass to complement that, just to keep the defense honest. Kaler's had a great week throwing the ball this week, and so I look for him to have that 10 to 15 passes is probably where we'll kind of stay. There may be some weeks here and there that there's some opportunities for us to throw it a little bit more, but we want to continue to take those shots. We've got a good group of kids that do well receiving the ball. Mason Miller out in the flats is dangerous. Then we got the 2 big guys on the perimeter that we can always take the shot deep to. So somewhere in that neighborhood is probably where we'll stay.
Your defense has only allowed 6 points this season, with the lone touchdown being on a short field after a fumble against Thomas Nelson. What's been the key to success the first 2 weeks?
We've changed defenses, something that we thought would fit our personnel this year. I think the kids have bought into it. There's a lot of movement, a lot of blitzing and things like that, and I think that's exciting for kids. And so I think they've bought into, the ability to make plays based on what we're doing. And then, I think Coach Embry, week in, week out, preparing those kids for what we're going to see. There hasn't been anything so far in 2 weeks that we haven't really practiced against. And so, I think he's doing a great job on that side of the ball, preparing the kids. And that, like I said, I think the kids have bought in and they're excited about what we're doing. And it also fits, I think, our makeup as far as what we have personnel-wise.
Staying on the defensive side, starting tonight, really forward to the next 5 games, you're probably going to be facing offenses that might be throw a little bit more, might be more pass first. What challenges does that bring your defense, and what can they do tonight to get off to a good start over these next stretch of games?
Well, again, I think it starts up front. You don't want to allow that quarterback time back there to kind of sit back there and read the defense. So a good pass rush is going to be key. But then, we've got some returners in the secondary. Tom's played back there last year, and so he's got a little experience, great athleticism. Caden Woodcock started last year as a corner, so he's a returner and has got some experience. We're a little green on the other corner with Michael Wood, but again, another super athlete. And I think it's just, sticking to responsibilities. We play a lot of zone coverage and, not letting somebody slip behind you for the big one. But ultimately, I think good pass rush up front, and whoever that linebacker is that's coming, if we can get somebody clean and really get pressure on the quarterback, makes it tough to throw.
Last week, Qdarius rushed for over 300 yards for Ohio County against this Muhlenberg County offense. Did you get to watch that film? And if you did, what did you see that they did that you might be able to incorporate tonight?
Yeah, we did. We got that film, and he broke 3 big ones. 3 of them were over 60 yards, and that was his 3 touchdowns. And then other than that, it was kind of nickel and diamond. And so they did run a little option, and quarterback pulled it for some runs. And so, they did some things similar to what we do. It's a little bit different. They like to be in the pistol with him right behind the quarterback. We don't really get in that much. But I'll be honest, I like our 5 guys up front. We of course we haven't seen Ohio County yet in person, but I take my 5 guys against just about anybody in our district. I'm sure Owensboro's got some great kids, and Grace does too. But I think those 5 guys are going to get it done, and week in, week out for us. And so long as they have good games, we'll be able to continue to run the ball.
Tonight would be the 200th varsity win in program history for the Grayson County Cougar football team. What needs to happen to have that milestone happen tonight?
I think just continued progress. We can keep hitting on that week in, week out. We just got to get a little bit better each week. And, I think we were better last week than we were in the first week. And, clean a few things up this week and be better than we were last week, and protect the football, control line of scrimmage, little small things, knock out the unnecessary penalties, and I think we've got a good chance to be super competitive in this game.
Coach, good luck.
Thanks, go Cougars.
We'll have more here coming up after this.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Living in your ideal home, or is it still a dream? Future Designs Building Materials can help you turn your dreams into reality with atrium windows that will make the sun look brighter, roofing material that will keep your home protected year-round, and decking material for that perfect barbecue setting. Now is the perfect time to get your home improvement project off the ground. Got questions? Future Designs Building Materials can help with all your lumber and home improvement questions. Visit Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield or fdbm.net.
When I was a kid, my dad would hold a nickel in one hand and a dime in the other and ask, which one is bigger? Of course, the nickel was bigger, but the dime was worth more. Think about that. With all the bank mergers going on, does bigger make them better? I don't think so. Wilson & Muir Bank is a locally owned community bank based right here in Kentucky. I like dealing with people I know personally, the same people I've trusted with my money for years. That's why it's my bank. Wilson & Muir Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Twin Lakes Fast Mix, K105.
Welcome back here to Cougar Stadium. Grayson County and Muhlenberg County moments away from getting underway. Now time for the keys to tonight's game. First off, for Grayson County. You heard it in our pregame talk. We talked with Coach Jones. No silly penalties. They had a couple of those last week that extended that Breckinridge County drive. Sure, Fighting Tigers didn't get any points in that game, but you can't extend drives, especially against some of these really, really good teams that Grayson County is going to be playing later on this season. Second one, win short yardage situations. You've seen that Grayson County's had a lot of success, but these 3rd and 2s, 4th and 1s, you got to win those battles. Third one, dominate the trenches. Grayson County, again, you've heard Coach Jones talk about it. That's one of the keys that he always has. They've had a lot of success in that here this year. Dominate that interior, and if you do that, you're going to win a lot of games. And the fourth one, continue the trend. Offense playing well, defense playing well, special teams playing well. Continue that trend. Do what you've been doing. You can come out of here with a win tonight. For Muhlenberg County, your keys to the game, first off, be smart. I mean, they have 7 players that are out tonight for a variety of reasons. There's at least 1 or 2 injuries. There's some suspensions. Be smart. You can't, especially when you're down that many starters, you can't make silly mistakes in the game. Catch the hangover. What I mean by this is Grayson County coming off of a big win. It's a Thursday night. You look at the other side, Muhlenberg County out with a lot of players. You have a rivalry game next week against Butler County. This could be a trap game. Don't let it become that if you're Grayson County. And finally, find the weakness. I had that last week for Brett County. Last year, we knew that the Cougars' weakness was the secondary. Through 2 games, we have not seen what that might be here this year. That really wraps up our locker room show here for today. We'll come back, have all the play-by-play as Grayson County and Muhlenberg County are moments away, as this is Cougar football right here on K105.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So